Hi there, everyone. Happy Wednesday, King 5. Meteorologist Adam Claibon here with you. We are now in our dry stretch, which is going to last for quite some time, at least the next week or so. And it's going to come along with quite the warm up, too. We're going to see highs rebounding not only just back into the 70s, but we're talking 80s and 90s by the start of next week. So we're going to talk about all of that. Again, we're in our dry stretch right now, so all the rain that we have seen, it is now heading out of here. But let's go ahead and talk about that and see how much we have seen so far here for the month of June. And you can see some of those amounts around 1.5 inches there in Bellingham, closing in at about 1.25 inches for Seattle, and for Olympia, closing in on 2 inches. All of those are surpluses here so far for the month of June, and pretty close to what we should typically see for the entire month of June. So already almost done with that. And when you look at what's fallen so far here throughout the year of 2026, still running a surplus up in Bellingham, a good bit of one too, closer to 2+ inches of rain from what we normally see, or precipitation. For the airport out at SeaTac, just a little under where we should normally be. And then looking at Olympia, you can see about 1.5 inches shy of what the normal amount should be. So we'll see if we get any more rain here before we head on into the latter part of the month. But the next week or so is looking to be dry. And as far as what we're expecting wind-wise, well, that will continue to be much lighter than what we had yesterday. Still kind of breezy, but you might notice some of those gusts between about maybe 15 to 20 miles per hour. In temperatures, they did rebound, but we were generally in the low to mid 60s, nearing 70 there in Puyallup. Tomorrow, I think we see a lot more of those 70s that will be out and about. Here's your forecast. Thursday, 71, 73 on Friday, and then you can see the 2 days shaded in red and highlighted there for Sunday and Monday. That's when we expect some pretty hot temperatures. So first alert days out because of that. We'll be nearing the 90-degree mark, I think Sunday, but I think a few spots might hit it on Sunday. We'll have better chances of that happening on Monday. And both of those days have the potential of maybe setting new daily record highs, as the record for Sunday is at 87. Or is at 86, sorry, and it looks like the record on Monday is going to be just shy of 90 degrees. So could see 2 records here, maybe set or tied here as we head on into the start of next week. Right now, I wanted to show you satellite imagery, and you can see how the cloud coverage is slowly but surely eroding away from what we had earlier here into the day, and that's kind of nice to see. You can see the sunshine taking over. For areas here farther south, closer to Portland, there are already extreme heat watches out. We're going to talk about that here in a second. Out towards the coast, beautiful look at the sunshine out that way towards Westport, and looking at Poulsbo, a lot of overcast skies. Clouds still with us there, while Everett, we have cleared out, and yesterday we were the spot that definitely saw more of the cloud coverage and the rain throughout the day. Not the case here for late into our Wednesday. 65, winds out of the west, coming in at about 8 miles per hour. We'll cool down here as we head on into the night, and looking to see those temperatures, I think for many of us, dropping down into the 40s. It's going to be a chilly start for most spots early into Thursday. Now here's radar. You can see some of those lighter showers out across the eastern side of the state and into Idaho, Montana too. Definitely seeing more of that rain, but we're seeing this clockwise flow now beginning to develop here out across the Pacific, and that is our ridge of high pressure. And you can see that again, that clockwise flow, which is with this ridge of high pressure that is going to be making its way closer to us. Now, with that being the case, yes, we do already have, in advance of that, some pretty hot weather that's expected, and extreme heat watches have been issued by the Portland National Weather Service down that way. As you can see, that's going to start up on Sunday through Tuesday, as they're expecting temperatures between possibly the mid to upper 90s, even closing in on the 100-degree mark down that way. Not going to be nearly as hot for us up here, but first let's get into the tonight's forecast, which is expected to be much clearer and quieter, chillier too, as overnight lows drop down into those 40s. We'll head into the day tomorrow. That's 1 o'clock. Lots of sunshine out there. Maybe a few clouds that will be in place for us. And we'll keep that going on into the day for Friday. A cloud or two passing by. But noticing our wind direction, too, starting to come in from more this north direction at that point. And once we start to get that, that means less of the onshore component, which would keep us a bit cooler. And things do start to warm up just a little more on Friday. Expect to see more offshore winds, though, by the time we head into Saturday. And definitely for Sunday and Monday, as that ridge of high pressure we were referring to inches closer to the area. You can see that extending into the northern part of the Pacific and finding its way across parts of BC and really helping to warm things up here as we head on into the beginning of next week. And sticking with us here through that Sunday and Monday time before flattening out and starting to see things beginning to cool down afterwards. But looking at the forecasted highs, we go from the lower 70s Thursday and Friday into the 80s on Saturday, and then 80s and 90s Sunday and Monday. And Tuesday, looks like some model disagreement there. We could notice maybe a little more of a cool down depending on how quickly we get these onshore winds to return, but definitely noticing a little more of that cooler air mass coming in. So that's going to bring us back down more so in the low to mid 80s, and then you can see for next Wednesday and Thursday, falling back into the 70s and then maybe some 60s by the time we head into the following weekend. So it's not going to be a very long stretch of hot weather, but it is going to be at least a 2, 3, possibly 4-day stretch of at least some 80s ahead for us. Here's a look at your overnight temperatures. Did mention it's going to be chilly. Shelton 42, 41 in Olympia, 42 in Chehalis, 41 in Quileute. So we could be noticing some spots flirting at least with the upper 30s, but most spots dropping down into the 40s here for the night. Then highs tomorrow getting up to 68 there in Blaine. We'll top off at 64 in Coupeville, lower 70s around Paulsville, 73 in Renton, same in Auburn, and 75 there in Puyallup. With your forecast really just continuing to bring more of the sunshine and just keeping that stretch of sunshine and dry weather here on through the weekend and for most of next week. And even with that cool down we were talking about that's heading in by next Wednesday and Thursday, aren't really good rain chances ahead for us. So we could be dry for some time, and we're heading into this summer-like pattern. So we typically see a lot of dry weather, so it's just now beginning to take shape, and it's definitely going to make itself known on Sunday and Monday as we get up near the 90-degree mark. Okay, everyone, well, get ready for the heat. You still got a couple of days to enjoy the more comfortable warmth that's going to be around for us heading on into Thursday and Friday. Have a great and a wonderful Wednesday night. We'll talk to you soon.